SoFi and stock market investors, welcome back to the channel. I got a great video lined up for you guys today. It's been a crazy busy week with all kinds of leaked SoFi information. And I've also uncovered some more golden nuggets for you guys. So make sure you stick around for the video. Hit that like button, hit the hype button. And as always, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're almost at 5K. We only need like 100 more subs, guys. My last video got 350 new subscribers. You guys are the shit. Appreciate you guys. Now, take a look at your screen right now. We're going to take a look at SoFi. This is one of my smaller accounts, $20,000 account. We got around 600 and change shares of SoFi. Trading pretty flat. The market looked like it was going to be in for a really bad day today. It bounced up a little bit. Trading, pretty much flat this week for sure. And then over the last month, we had that big dip after earnings. It's been a roller coaster ride. That is for sure. But I do think that SoFi is about to explode. When is that going to happen? In a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year? Nobody freaking knows. And anyone that tells you that they do, they are full of doo-doo. But I do think this rubber band that's stretching this valuation lower and lower and lower is about to explode to the upside. And I'm going to give you all those reasons why. First, we're going to kick off acquisitions. Guys, awesome news, right? So recent acquisitions, two, primary bid. That released May 2026, SoFi acquired the technology and directed share program assets of Primary Bid, a UK-based retail fintech company. This acquisition expands SoFi's cross-border capital markets infrastructure, enabling fully digital retail IPO access and directed share allocations for its members. So if you're a member to the app, you'll know that the app is not up to snuff with a financial app, investing app like Robinhood, in my opinion. It needs a complete, facelift, straight Beverly Hills style, right? So Primary Bid could be in line to help kind of make this a more cohesive, more user-friendly financial investment model. Because Charles Schwab, Robinhood, E-Trade, they all make tons of money in fees, guys. An absolute buttload of fees. And that would behoove SoFi to get into that game for sure. And then Composer Technologies, which was acquired back in March. SoFi completed an unannounced non-material buyout of Composer Technologies for an estimated 10 to 15 million. Pretty small nominal number there, guys. In the grand scheme of things, Composer provides an AI-powered automated trading platform and algorithmic infrastructure that integrates directly into SoFi Invest. Again, this SoFi Invest needs a facelift, and these two companies could do that. Primary Bid's technology has been acquired by SoFi Technology. I tried to go on the Primary Bid website, get a little more info, but can't really go on the website now. But here's Meet Composer. This is really cool. This is building trading algorithms with AI, backtest them, then execute all on one platform. No coding skills required. So in these type of models, you could kind of get started and be like, okay, I want some semiconductors, and you kind of build your own basket of stocks, essentially, right? So you're just going to trade with AI. Unlock your new trading superpowers. Composer turns your ideas into automated trading strategies. So whatever those ideas are, you plug them into the AI algorithm. I want a basket including fintech, cybersecurity, whatever you want. You could do it a couple baskets, or you could do a huge basket. I want banking. I want fintech. I want cybersecurity. I want chips. I want defense. All those different, you can put them into a little algorithm, and then it'll shoot out and kind of build you a little portfolio, a little nest egg, and then kind of see where that trades at over a certain amount of time. You could do 10 stocks, 100 stocks, whatever you want to do. So this is a really interesting interface that could help piggyback onto what SoFi Invest already offers. It's not great. I mean, the Robinhood app is just so much more user-friendly. So I'm hoping over the next couple of years, this interface kind of takes over. And then what you could do essentially is build a portfolio of baskets, right? You have like, say you build 5 different baskets, and then you could track them over time, what performs better, and then allocate your funds. Say you put in $1,000 a month, and then you weight it. I put $300 into my top one, $200 into another, and $100 into some other more riskier ones. And then you kind of build out this really cool, essentially like an ETF builder from AI in this Composer platform. I think that's really cool, and definitely another way for this company, SoFi, to make more money on the bottom line. I do love that kind of philosophy moving forward. It's just diversifying income streams, and I think that's great. So right now, trading in that 575 range. We were crashed down to 1560. I am adding some shares, and I'll show you my portfolio a little bit earlier, what I'm doing with my portfolio, stocks I'm buying. But I want to talk about SoFi a little bit more here. We're at a 3-star price add, fair value around $19, price under $16. The 5-star price is in that $9.50 to $10 range, and then over $30 is the 1-star range. That's where you probably should not be buying and maybe selling some covered calls along the way. That's like one of my key strategies right there. Price to earnings coming in around 36, price to sales around 5, market cap at 21 billion. So I do think we're at fair value right now for SoFi stock. I think anything between $10 and $15 is going to be a great buy long term, and I'm adding slowly. I'm not maybe 5-10 shares a week because I'm pretty much at capacity, but the prices are so cheap. I do think that in the next year from today, middle of May of next year, I think we're going to be $25 to $35 pretty easily, in my opinion. Another reason why I think SoFi is getting closer and closer to seeing this rubber band explode towards the upside, guys, is S&P 500 inclusion. We have hit all the thresholds. It's just a matter of how the rebalancing acts. So sometimes they kick out more companies than others. So right now, the rebalancing of the S&P 500, we have another one Friday, June 5th after earnings. We have another one September 4th, 2026. And then we have another one Friday, December 4th, 2026. These are the announcement dates. And then a few weeks after that is when it becomes effective and it actually enters the S&P 500. And that's when we can see all these institutional owners, ETF owners that track the S&P 500 adding SoFi to their basket of stocks, which is huge in my opinion moving forward. Okay, it's not going to be one of those situations where it gets in the S&P 500 and it goes up 30%. I don't foresee that happening. It's going to be a slower increase over time. Maybe we see a 10% bump in the stock price after the news and the excitement of it, but it's more of a long-term play as these ETFs and institutional owners start accumulating, and they have a certain weight in mind where SoFi will be, and it will expand on that. Speaking of institutional owners and ownership, institutional shares just crossed 800 million, 62.75%. Woo! Baby! You gotta love that. You have to love that. 963 total owners. We're starting to see some of these. It's weird. The big dogs are accumulating, but some of these smaller institutions are selling. We've seen the institutional owners go from around 1,000 to 963, but the institutional shares went up significantly from around 51% to over 62%, closing in on 63%. We'll see some more announcements today. But as you can see, they're already coming in on today's date, 5/15. We have seen some trims. We've seen some ads. Summit Partners Public Asset Management. Looks like they sold a put, 800,000 shares worth. Puts are a great idea because if you think SoFi is undervalued, say you do a put at $12 or $13. Worst case scenario, you get to buy SoFi at $12 or $13. If not, you get to collect a shitload of premium along the way. I love that strategy there. And then National Bank of Canada increased their share percentage significantly, up 300% today. So it's awesome, guys. Toronto Dominion Bank sold some puts. T. Rowe Price, looks like they trimmed up a bit. Okay, so I want to show you, I did uncover another golden nugget for you guys. That's why you got to subscribe to the channel, because I'm always uncovering the nuggets. So here are the top owners of SoFi stock. We announced these a couple days ago, the capital management and the portfolio management groups adding SoFi stock. But the percentage increase, you can see in the positives. Not a lot of negatives in the top 10, 15 owners. A couple of trims here and there, but we've seen a lot of huge adds. 197% increase, that just happened. 515 today increased their share percentage by 200. Now they're over 16 million shares. Woo! Baby, Morgan Stanley increased their ownership back in February by 30%. Citadel back in February increased their shareholder percentage by 231%. A lot of these big institutions only kind of reshuffle twice a year, maybe. It's not really a quarterly thing. They're mostly on a schedule. Here's a big one. Citigroup, huge bank here in the States, increased their shareholder percentage by 57% back, what was that, on the 11th? What's that, Monday or whatever? But huge. Now they own 7 million shares of SoFi stock. Now we have a significant amount of companies over 5 million shares. Defiance ETFs LLC, they just added 5 million shares today. So a lot of these companies are starting to see significant value in SoFi stock. These acquisitions are happening. If we take a look at the history of acquisitions, they're all over the place, man. Galileo, been a bummer. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to front. I want to see more growth from Galileo. Golden Pacific, that's how they got the bank charter. Technisys, Wyndham Capital, I love that. The mortgage part of this company is going to be huge over the next 5 to 10 years. Huge. A Composer, this is going to be paired with SoFi Invest and Galileo. And then Primary Bid, this is a SoFi Invest and the tech platform. So we're starting to make more investments into the tech platform, different avenues in the tech platform, hopefully combining them into one great suite that could be ultimately monetized for this company moving forward. All right, guys, here's what's going on in my portfolio. Go over a quick summary for you guys right here. We are up 136% over the last 2 years. Another reason why you gotta subscribe to the channel. All right, here's our realized gains and losses from the year. I'm gonna show you everything, the good, the bad, and ugly. We are up 55,539 buckaroonies this year. Not too shabby, right? Considering it's only May, pacing $10,000 a month. Okay. Now, I do sell a shitload of covered calls. We are up on all of them this week, except for one. I did sell some puts. That's kind of a hedge, right? So I had 8 covered calls that I really didn't want to have to, buy back or, eventually have the shares called away. I don't usually typically get my shares called away. I will roll them out. So right now, CleanSpark is a Bitcoin miner that I absolutely love. They are at $13.48, and we're pretty much in the clear for these 8 covered calls. But I don't want to buy CleanSpark at $14. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take these losses. I'm going to go to roll this position. This is a great tool for you guys if you sell some puts and maybe you're down a little bit on the puts, but I do like CleanSpark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the selection here, and another screen is going to pop up for us, and then 3 versus 3. We're going to buy to close and sell to open. That's what rolling your options are. I'm going to kick this out 2 weeks down the road and see what the value here is. See if I can go down to $13. That's about even, but I'm going to kick it out another week. So $13, I can go, actually, you know what? I'm going to kick these out to the middle of June, right? Give us some downside protection. Here we go. I'm going to shift it out to the middle of June. It's about even price point wise. So I much rather buy at $12 than I would at $14, right? So that's every contract is 100 shares. So 3 contracts, that's 300 shares, $2 per contract. That we're coming, that's going to save us $600 in having to buy CleanSpark. Obviously, it could go lower than the 12, then we could potentially have to roll them again. But I don't foresee that happening right now. So I'm going to review this order. I'm going to kick this can down the road a little bit. And then you always got to check and make sure your order fills, because sometimes the price action is a little wonky with these options, and it did fill. So we kicked that down the road about a month and put these puts at $12. So I don't care, because I have tons of covered calls in that $16, $17 range over the next several months. So if this goes back down, I got to buy these shares. I don't care, because I'm going to make a ton of money with my covered calls there for CleanSpark. But I also trade a ton of covered calls in SoFi. We'll take a look at them this week. So we had SoFi, we had 6 covered calls at $18.50. We did have 2 contracts for puts at $15. We're good there. 3 at 16, 2 at 17, 10 at $18.50, and 11 at $16.50. So we cleaned up a lot of green here, guys. So if we take a look here, we're up, $500, $600, $700 this week. About 200 here. That's 300 right there. Another 400. So we're up, between $500 and $700 this week in selling covered calls. Now I take that money and I put it back into stocks. I'm starting to get my cash pile up. I want to get that back up over 10 grand. But I have been nibbling. When I have one share of a company, I'm like starting to look at them. I'm buying some Adobe. What else am I buying? I am buying Chewy stock. I think that's a very undervalued stock right now. If we take a look at Chewy, I'm a dog owner, and they are the best dog company out there and pet supply company. It's not even close, to be completely honest. So it's the lowest the stock's been over the last year. It was over $47 not too long ago, and the company is in just as good, if not a better place, in my opinion. I think this is a great look. Market Edge loves it. LSEG loves it. I think this is a great opportunity for them. They've beat on earnings the last 2 quarters. I just like where they're at as a company. Price to earnings, I could be a little bit lower. Remember, that's the last 12 months. The forward PE is the one you really got to look out for. Half of what the current trailing 12-month PE is, and I freaking love that. I love buying a forward PE that's significantly less than the trailing 12 months. I think there's some growth ahead for Chewy stock. I do love that stock. I'm going to put out a best stocks to buy video that could double your money really soon. I think Elf is a really good buy right now. It's been getting decimated. They have great products at a good price point, and they've been getting destroyed in the last year. It was up to $147 per share. It's $50 per share now. I think that is stupid price action, in my opinion. And holy shit balls, Q3 2026, they destroyed EPS. Destroyed. Forward PE at 18. Elf I got to buy more. I'm buying more live. Let's buy 10 more. 10 more shares. I'm buying it right now. Boom, shakalaka. I convinced myself to buy some more shares, guys. I love that. So this is what you're going to get on this channel. I'm going to go over my trades, what the hell I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I will break down more company specific in some later videos. As you can see right here, I own 6,455 shares in this account, over 600 plus in the other account. We do have some in some retirement accounts as well, probably another 200 or whatever. So I'm well over 700 shares. I think Shopify is a freaking smash buy, right? I am trying to get my percentage of my account of SoFi smaller. I wanted to get it under 30%, but the stock has bumped up from, it was at $15. It was at 29%, but the 50 cents it went up, it kind of shot back over 31%. Palantir, I'm adding slowly. If I sell a covered call in the 140 range, 145 range, and I make $130 on it or whatever, I'll add a share. I would like to get that around 700 and then just kind of call it a day there. Shopify, I love, like I said. Sirius Radio is a good dividend player. I do add a lot to these JEPQ and VOOG. I want to get my VOOG up. That's the S&P 500 growth ETF. I do love that as well. I just sold a bunch to buy some more shares. So I'm going to start buying some more. I had 30 shares of Zscaler and it ran up and I was up 30%. So I trimmed that position a little bit and then I'll sell some puts and then reacquire those shares slowly, right? And then Stone is another company I really like. I have a uranium play here, UEC. And then we have Rigetti that I really like as well. Quantum computing and QBTS, that's another quantum computing long-term. And I think Nike long-term is a good buy. I do think that they'll be able to fix the brand, get China back involved, and the Chinese starting to buy Nike again. We got to get that brand back up. I do think it's a good brand. I want to get up to around 200 or 300 shares and then call it a day. I would like to get my price average. I'm down 19% on the shares right now. I would like to get that under 50 for sure. All right, guys. And then here's all my options. I sell a ton of options. You know, we're up 15 grand on my options. A lot of covered calls, a lot of cash secured puts. But all right, guys, that's what I think SoFi is about to explode. I just gave you a little portfolio overview as well. You guys are the best. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.